Welcome to another day in the Matrix, waters above crypto. This market is currently on its next leg up, both XRP and Bitcoin hitting new highs for the year. Bitcoin just hitting a new all-time high above $63,000. So we're going to go over the charts and see what the next moves are and what price targets I'm looking for. If you're new here, we do cryptocurrency technical analysis and combine it with the esoteric science of Gematria, Numerology, and Astrology to understand these markets. If you haven't already subscribed and you like what we're doing here, feel free to subscribe. Give this video a like and share this channel with other conscious people to help grow this community. If you'd like to join my mastermind course, my email is in the description box. There's a promo code in the pinned comment below. And let's jump right into it. So very quickly, we're going to just go over the date. We have the date written as such with 4 plus 13 plus 20 plus 21 equaling the 58 like XRP. And I was mentioning this date would be critical moving into the 14th because we are still in the 15th week of the year. And if you guys are new to this channel and you want to catch up on my work, I strongly suggest you go back to the videos from about mid-March and you'll see how we were using this very basic application of Gematria to figure out the number 14 and 15 significance for XRP, and we were able to predict a $1 XRP in April. Now we're way above that. We're looking at around $1.73 today. Absolutely incredible. And it's just amazing how you could keep coming back to these numbers time and time again and you can see their connection. So again, the 58 in the English ordinal cipher, you have 4 for April, 13 for the date, plus 20, plus 21 for the year, and you get the 58. And there's a lot of ways to do numerology. You could continue to reduce this down, etc. But when you start to understand the mirroring effect or perhaps some of the applications of numbers in Kabbalah using Hebrew Gematria has so many different forms of manipulating the numbers to create the code. So we have to be very open-minded to this stuff. A lot of people who do zodiac or any forms of tarot and all that stuff, they just find one form of tarot and they stick to that, and then they close their mind off to all the other things. Go look at how Aleister Crowley was doing tarot, and you'll see that it was a completely different form. And magic is not simple. It is a very complicated and alchemical process, and the same thing goes with the numbers. So we have the 58 and we have the 58, and when you add 8 plus 5, you're getting the 13. And the significance here, because it's the 13th day of the month. Now, again, also, if you were to write out the date here, 4/13/2021, you're going to get the 13. So we're getting the 13 adding up with the 13th date, and then also the 58, which can get added together to equal the 13. There's a huge significance to 13. 13 people sitting at the table in the Last Supper. 13 can symbolize new beginnings. Also, if you wanted to break down the numbers further, you have 1, which is the connection to source, or the I am, I as in 1. You also have 3 being the Trinity, Trinity being 1 plus 1 equals 2. With 2, you have duality. But with the third, you have balance, because you were able to have a translator between your duality. And it gets just deeper and deeper as you seek this gnosis. As above, so below. As within, so without. So let's get into the charts a little bit. I'm going to quickly go over XRP from a technical standpoint. I think we're kind of in a position right now where it's really, really hard to expect a pullback at this time, because every single time it consolidates, it just keeps going, and that's great. I'm gonna break this down for people a little bit further using just pure TA, and then at the end of this, I'll interject with my opinion. of where I think this will be going next. So the first thing that's pretty crucial to look at is the RSI. The Relative Strength Index tells me that XRP gets gassed out around this 93 range. Anywhere around 93, you can see this cluster right here. We had this recent moment around November 2020. Sorry about that. And then we had this moment right here, which is when it went to $3. There was two pulls up when it did such a thing, and it moved up from around 20 something cents to $3.20 in the course of I think about 26 days, and then it cratered. And I do want people to understand that not many people got rich here. It was very hard to take profits on something that just went up in a straight line and then crashed and hasn't seen prices similar until here we are, 4 years later. So I just want people to know, like, my sentiment of not bringing hype and news and all this extra stuff to the table is because I'm looking at this like a data scientist, like an alchemist. This is getting close to being an unsustainable rally. And everyone wants to say it's different this time, it's different this time, it's different than this time. And I'm cool with that. I'm cool with everyone's opinions, but we're just going over the charts here. And that's what actually matters. How you feel is your truth. How I feel, I'm not exposing that right now. I'm just showing you the numbers. So when we start approaching this 88 to 90 RSI, that's when I'm going to start getting a little bit cautious. Again, right now we are sitting at around 83, so we have a lot of room to go. And I can anticipate this continuing for a while, actually, perhaps even back to previous all-time highs. So another thing we could do is put up the Bollinger Bands, and I want to show you guys something that I think is pretty interesting, something that is rare. And if we go to the weekly chart, we can actually see on this weekly chart that there is a gap above this top side Bollinger Band, this orange line. There's a gap between the candle and even the wick and this top side Bollinger Band. This has never happened before. Ever. This has never happened for XRP. It always has connection to this top side Bollinger Band within at least a fraction of a penny. This is a pretty substantial amount of space here. It's about a 5 cent gap, about 4%. So with that being said, typically these pull back, or it either has to rip again. It just has to keep ripping up to bring this Bollinger Band up with it. But look at the discrepancy here. You see how this bottom side Bollinger Band has expanded so rapidly that it's kind of digging downwards? That's what this move looked like back here during the run up to the blow off top. And this was a hypodermic top. Like, this is a very ugly chart. People who are like anti-technical analysis because they're just here to make money and it is what it is because some YouTuber said that technical analysis is bullshit, get off of here. You don't want to be here, because what I've learned is that technical analysis, when done properly and without emotion, actually helps you to be able to do your own work, your own data collection. You don't want to be sitting around watching a YouTuber all day to make all of your life decisions. I know that I'm making YouTube videos, but I'm just being straight up with people because this is about giving red pills. I don't want people sitting around all day watching YouTube to determine what they're going to do with their life savings. If that's what you're doing, I'm sorry for you, but you're going to get wrecked. If you're just listening to people and following all their orders, it's not going to be too easy for you when it's time to take profits because your gut is greedy. Everyone is greedy when they're seeing green. And as you've heard my sentiment, when we were back here and I was predicting this breakout, I was stoked. Now that we're here and we're seeing it and it's just moving up in a straight, in a parabola, I'm kind of just like chilling now, I'm on the back burner and I'm trying to collect as much data as I can to know when this rally will end. So this is very rare to have a gap above the top side Bollinger Band. On the 3-day, we are also seeing a gap again, not good and very rare. So one thing to take a look out for is the 2-day. we are also trading above the Bollinger Band, and the daily, we are trading above the Bollinger Band. It's sitting around $1.58, and we're trading at $1.71. Being above the Bollinger Band means it's a continuation. So we are continuing above it. And that means that until we trade within it and have multiple closures within it, we can continue moving to the upside. So I am not bearish. I'm also not necessarily bullish because I don't love these straight line breakouts. If you've been following me for the past week, we're happy that this came to fruition, but I would love to see XRP build a larger trading range, something like this, and then just get some strength in this area, because I'm going to reveal to you what's problematic, and that is this. When we look at the amount of time that XRP typically likes to stay in a broken out phase from the day of the breakout until the day the rally ends, we're looking at around 32 days. Let's go here. From the day of the breakout to the day it ends, we're looking about 27 days. Let's go back here. And again, people are going to say, oh, you know, this time's different. Okay, well, 34 days. What about here? So this was actually pretty extended. That was healthy, and it still broke down more. And then, of course, we have the Colossus. Yeah, I mean, even 36 days, and from that day right there, it lost how much value from the top? 72%. So 30 to 40 days is about how much time XRP will stay in that broken out momentum, meaning it doesn't like to hold uptrends. And you could tell that because the price has been consistently at this 40-cent level for years. So if I was to just put a measured move from this day of the breakout right here on April 5th and just move it over 30 days, we're looking at April 5th. So I'm going to mark this date. Of course, I knew May 5th has a lot of significance because it's the 5-5 date numerology. I'm not saying that this rally will end on this date. I'm saying historically, XRP will rally for 30 days, have its blow off top somewhere in the middle, and then it'll come back down. And I'm not saying this will do this. I'm just saying this is historically what happens. And moving forward in my videos, I don't want to continue to like harp on this because you can go back and watch. I just hate having to repeat myself when it comes to certain calls. So what I can imagine happening now, if we were to assume that the next levels up are potentially $2.30, $1.76 would be the most obvious target at this time. The reason for that is because of the 76 in Ripple. And I was mentioning the 176 because it is the 2618 fib, if I remember correctly. Yes, so the 2618, it's around $1.79 on this particular chart. It's going to be different on every single chart because of the trading. But closing above this 1618 and then moving up to that $1.76, that makes total sense to me. The next target to the upside would be around, in my opinion, $2.30. Again, coming back to the 2-3 in XRP, $2.30. And that could all happen like tomorrow. Like legitimately, that could all happen by tomorrow. We could actually hit new all-time highs around $3.20 before the end of this month. It's possible. Now, if it does that, though, historically, when it goes up to the 93 RSI on the daily, which right now it's sitting at 83. If it was to go all the way to 330, it would probably enter that territory of a 93 RSI, which would also mean that we could assume that the rally will end within 30 days from when it started, which would be around the beginning of May, the first week of May. I'm not saying it will crash down back to 30 cents again, but I'm saying that would be the expected move, the fractal we would anticipate. So another thing to consider would be the 55 EMA. And this is how I would anticipate this whole move to go if I had to use my opinion and also my gut feeling. So if I pull up this white moving average, again, if I put my cursor right here, that's looking like May 5th, I'm sorry. We could move up to $3 and then pull back and most likely come and settle on this white moving average. Because that time frame is about 21 days away, this actually gives plenty of time for this moving average to move up naturally into the 89 cent range. And in the event of a dump, we could hope for that to be what catches us. Again, I'm not saying we will. I hope that XRP trades up. It's my second biggest holding. So whenever you hear me saying anything about a correction, it's because it needs one. I know that people who are big holders of an asset never want to hear that. And that's exactly why when the prices pull back, most people sell at a loss, or most people buy the top. So, yep. Read some Peter Lynch quotes and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm looking for that $2.30 mark would be great for a range to push up to before consolidation, even as high as the 93 or 95 RSI on the daily. And that's what we could use to track the rest of this breakout. Until then, we're bullish. We're above the daily Bollinger Band every single day, including most likely today. We're above the 2-day, we're above the 3-day, and we do have that gap above the weekly. So we could have a flash crash down to fill that gap and then push on up. It's totally possible. And then lastly, we'll just quickly go over Bitcoin because we spent so much time on XRP. And what Bitcoin is doing right now is pretty standard. It's seeing a rejection on a trend line that I've actually been watching out for quite a while. I'm going to hide these indicators and just show you that trend line. It's all that really matters, to be completely honest. I know this is messy. I'm really sorry. This is one of my personal charts. And if you look right here, you can see that we have smacked this white trend line. And that's what's been going on all the way back since December leading into the new year. This trend line has caught every massive liquidation wick. And then when we traded below it, we had a consolidation. Then we pumped up to it, saw resistance, and then got above it. And then when we came back down here, we traded around it, consolidated, came back up, pumped. This is one of the most significant trend lines. You could see right here for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, almost full week straight, we had resistance on this trend line. Failed below it, consolidated, and then now we're seeing resistance on it again. So the long and short of it is this trend line, until we break a daily above it, I'm pretty sure that we're not going to move up to the 70,000s. But the second we close above it, we're probably going to start heading towards the 70,000s. So when that 70,000 moment hits, I would expect Bitcoin dominance to come back up a little bit. Also notice how the Bitcoin dominance has been bottoming at this 55.5. These are the numbers, guys, and these numbers are the truth. So people that are saying that the Bitcoin dominance is going to go down to 51 or whatever, like, I've been seeing this 55.5 for multiple days straight, and I don't see any reason for anything else. That's a very ritual number. And with Bitcoin heading to the upside right now, I'd anticipate the 68,000 is in the cards in terms of Fibonacci. And if we start trading above the 70s, it's going to have to go back to the drawing board because we have this Bitcoin logarithmic growth curve chart, which is showing me that around 68 to 69,000 is when we trade above this orange line. And that is what typically leads us to the promised land. So we could see a potential 100K Bitcoin within this next, within May, before May or in May. And if that happens, this whole market is going to have to be reconsidered because there's going to be something that people are not expecting. Anyways, if you'd like to learn more about cryptocurrencies and how to do technical analysis and also how to utilize the esoteric code of Gematria to be able to determine what dates and what prices these cryptos will hit before it happens, you can join my mastermind course by contacting me in the email in my description box. And there will also be a promo code in the pinned comment below. Also, feel free to mention me in a comment. Look forward to hearing from you guys. Enjoy the rest of your day in the Matrix. Much love.